Indiana Jones reopened this weekend. Did you guys?
What? I didn't know it was closed.
Yeah, it closed in November.
Really?
That's why.
Oh yeah, weren't they closing it indefinitely?
I thought that's what they meant, but it looks like they updated everything they needed to a lot sooner. So.
Oh, so is it a different ride?
It's not different. They just updated like the projections, so it looks like a lot more realistic. Yeah,
I love that ride.
So good.
So
I've literally been watching ride videos of it all day because I'm like, wow, it's so pretty now. It's like HD, like the quality, and like the snake actually works now, like consistently apparently. But
that snake used to scare me.
Oh my gosh,
Same.
yeah, that's like my childhood trauma.
Just going back in October, when we went back,
Yeah,
I
was
literally
nervous.
was like, I was waiting for it to just like strike me
the whole time. Me too. I was so nervous.
But then I didn't realize that it was like just broken, and that's another reason why they wanted to update
like,
it. Yeah. Do it again?
Like the head fake. Trying to like juke us out.
Yeah.
Dude,
no.
one time, so I was like in a silly mood, and Wesley was like trying to be all romantic and whatever, and he was like, "What you gonna?" He's like, "Well, you're gonna have to get through me," because like saying that I needed to go somewhere or something, and then I was like.
You're like,
and I just like went around,
Does like the spin around,
and he was like so mad at me because I was like not following what he was doing.
You weren't matching his level.
I wasn't matching his level.
he was like
serious.
this, and
That's so funny.
I thought it was hilarious. I laughed for like 10 minutes.
of course you did. When was this?
A couple weeks ago.
Oh. Yeah, dude. No, I just I think some rides are scary, but Indiana Jones always hits right.
Hey everybody, you're listening to Discussions with Heidi, Nat, and Kim.
We're three sisters who talk about anything and everything while playing trivia.
We can't promise we'll always stay on topic, but we can promise we'll always be safe for work. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Okay, so today we're going to be kind of just talking about fan theories. So like any theories that a super fan came up with. I don't know. I'm that kind of person that likes, I hate saying that phrase, but I'm the type, I don't even know how to rephrase it. Sorry. I'm the kind of person that likes when there's like a twist or like something that makes you think about something. That's why I love any book that ends in a huge twist that just kind of makes you question everything that you just read.
I still think about Verity.
Yeah.
Colleen
So, like,
Hoover.
The silent patient threw me for a loop too. I was like,
Oh,
That
I
one
did not
shook
see
me.
that one coming.
Oh,
That one for
I already
real,
have
I literally had to
trivia.
sit there and I was like, what is
I
happening?
I flipped back in the book and I was like reading certain passages and I was like,
It all makes sense,
yeah,
right?
It makes sense.
But like the fact that I didn't even really question it, I was like,
yeah, no,
it
same.
was just crazy.
Dude,
Yeah,
Silent
anyway.
Patient messed me up. Okay, Nat, do you want to go first with the trivia today?
Sure. That was the one thing I didn't pull up. Hold on.
I know, I gotta make sure I have mine in here.
What's the author to that book?
So Silent Patient? It's something Greek. That's not helpful.
If you want to read
It's
it,
like
look it up.
Michael something. I'm gonna look it up.
It's a good story.
Somebody else go.
Okay, I'll go.
It's not loading.
Okay.
How much does a NASA spacesuit cost?
Oh, jeez.
Okay, I was
leg.
arm blown. What the heck?
So she's at arm and a leg.
Okay, whoa. Okay, is it 12 million, 1 million, 500,000, 750,000?
A space
Suit. It's just the suit.
No, well, it's the suit and the little backpack thing and the little like.
It's all of it.
It's all of it, yeah.
And the helmet. So it's gotta be like $1 million.
$1 million. I would say like $1 million.
Yeah.
12 million.
Are you serious?
One spacesuit costs $12 million.
Oh my gosh. How do we send anyone into space?
Well, do you know how much like a spacecraft cost?
No,
like billions of dollars.
Oh my gosh, 12?
Dude.
Holy cow, that's
Well,
crazy.
So when we were originally looking at this episode topic, it was going to be conspiracies, and a lot of the ones I saw were about like the moon landings and how a lot of people don't think that we've ever been on the moon. That every piece of footage that we claim to have on the moon is just pre-recorded.
Fabricated?
Yeah, because it's so freaking expensive to go to like outer space. I don't know. It's a little
crazy,
fishy.
man.
Okay.
A little fishy. One of the theories I was looking at said that Area 51, which I don't know if you guys know where that is, just outside
Nevada.
of Nevada.
I find it hard to believe that, like, there's all these, like, astronauts that, like, it takes quite a bit to get into the program. You know, you have to be kind of smart. You have to work hard. Like, I just find it hard to believe that they would all just be, like, part of this giant conspiracy.
Well, Steph Curry, actually, when I was reading this, he said that he didn't believe that anyone has been on the moon, and NASA invited him over to, like, look at all their footage and stuff. So I don't know. Haven't seen anything since from
Okay.
him.
Steph Curry, show us.
I know. Literally, tell us everything.
I don't like you, but you could show us some things.
No, but it's just like one of those things that, like, that's why when we were thinking about doing this, it was going to be conspiracies, but they were all just kind of depressing. Like, all of them.
Yeah, I was reading, kind of curious about some conspiracy theories, and I just, like, started getting sad.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
You know,
But you know what? The fan theories, also sad.
Yeah!
I was like...
Yeah, some of the ones I found, I was like...
Okay, all right, I have to go.
Yeah,
the
go.
The saddest one that I came across was somebody was like... Oh, hold on, I took a picture of it because I didn't want to mess it up, because this one got me. It says, according to one theory, Stitch, from Lilo and Stitch...
Are you crying?
No, I'm not. Just to clarify, I was just laughing that I said Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. Anyways, according to one theory, Stitch doesn't have a change of heart and choose friendliness because it's the right thing to do. Instead, he changes his ways because he sees it as a means of survival and nothing more. Because wait, that makes so much sense. He's literally like this monster. He was just created like from a lab. Why would he all of a sudden have like human emotion?
No.
It makes
He's
no
adapting.
sense actually.
Yeah.
But it makes way more sense for him to like see how everybody's interacting and see how it's beneficial.
He just, like,
and go that way.
matches it, and he's like, I'm just going to be like this for now.
Yeah, no, okay, I watched
Oh,
this.
that's terrifying.
Colton and I are watching New Amsterdam. Have you guys heard of that show?
I've heard of it. Is it good?
Yeah, we like it so far. We're only a season in, but so basically it's New Amsterdam's a hospital and they have different departments, right? So there's the psych department and there's the psychologist, whatever, therapist. His name's Iggy, and he's working with this family because the son came into the ER after being choked, and the parents told him that it was like he got wrapped up in some blinds, like the cord. But when they went to like go help him, they like looked, and it was definitely not a cord that made the marks on his neck. But they were like, these are small marks, and so they were suspecting the sister. And so basically the sister had like this, she just had like no feelings. Like, what did he call it? It was like
a sociopath?
Yeah, he called her like a psychopath, but like he had a different term for it. But we're basically like, they just don't feel anything.
They don't have emotions.
Yeah, and so he was like, I'll try and work with her, because they had tried all these things, obviously.
Wow.
He's like, I'll try and work with her, but I've never been successful. And so basically he was like, she does things for rewards. And so he came up with this game that if she apologized to her brother, he would give her Iggy bucks. And if she got 50 Iggy bucks, then she could have an hour of the phone time. And so he's like, and she's like, okay, but can I start small? And he's like, I guess. And so she's like, you're fat. Oh, I'm sorry. $10. And then she totally like manipulates him. So then he comes back later and he's like, okay, but there's an expert level. And in expert level, if you make anyone feel bad or they know that you're faking, then you lose. You don't win. And so then she goes into her brother and she comes up with this, like, she's like getting all emotional, telling him how she really just steals his phone because she loves him and she wants to be close to him. And she's like doing all these things. And like everybody's like believing. And he's like, it's just freaky. She did it for the reward, because then when she leaves, she like mouths to him. She's like, I won. Like, just totally played everybody for the reward. Did not feel a thing. I was like, and so I was reminded of that when I saw the Stitch thing, and I was like, like it's just scary. Ugh.
Oh my gosh!
Can't
make me cry.
I watched this Criminal Minds episode. Well, rewatched it.
Oh, I hate Criminal Minds.
Okay, yeah, I actually had to take a break, and I'm on my I don't even know how what number rewatch I'm on with friends, but I had to quit Last of Us, Criminal Minds, and something else because it was just so much. I was crying like every episode, so I had to turn it
don't
off.
watch New Amsterdam then.
Yeah,
right now I'm watching Attack on Titan. It's an anime, but it is so depressing.
Oh man,
it's just like it's literally about these titans that they're called titans, but they're man-eating titans. So there's this people that live in these walls, like 3 different like levels of walls. So there's like an inner wall, an outer like middle wall, and then an outer wall. And that's what's protecting them from these titans that are like giant people. And basically they have like this police force that like is supposed to go and like kill them, but like they're giant things that can just like grab you and then they eat you. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So like the first season, it was so hard to watch. The third season, the ending, it literally made me like just cry. Because it's just so depressing. Yeah. And so, like, now we're on the 4th season, and one of my, I'm gonna spoil it, but one of my favorite characters just died. And I'm like, I don't know if I can keep watching this.
Oh, man.
I need something else.
Yeah, dude. When things just hit, I don't know. I just get really emotional. But, okay, back on the Lilo and Stitch, though, I had 2 theories that I found about Lilo and Stitch, and they weren't that one. So that was interesting. Okay, so one of them I found is not as sad. So Lilo and Nani's parents, according to someone, they think that they were, one or both of them were CIA agents. And that's why Agent Cobra Bubbles is specifically tasked to work with.
So they probably
Lilo
didn't even die in a car crash. It was just a cover up.
That,
oh my gosh! I
didn't even think about that
because they do that all the time on the show I'm watching, Madam Secretary.
True.
Like they can't tell the family.
Yeah, no,
like,
they had to cover
who they
it up.
are. They just like they give them very little details.
Well, I was reading something on Men in Black. They were saying that like in the movie, it's a lot more like lighthearted than in the books. I don't know if lighthearted is the right word, but like a little bit lighter. And the character in the book or whatever is like, well, it's better to just kill the the people that witness it, the witnesses, than to just like let them live their lives because of what they see. So it's like one of those same things where is it better to kill them and take them out of their misery or let them go on knowing that there's stuff like that?
Well, they could have just been involved in some mission and then they died during the mission and then they told the kids that it was a car crash.
Yeah. Well,
but that makes sense because how is he like?
Because he's a CIA agent. Why is he he's not a social worker? And so I honestly believe this theory.
Yeah, why would he be involved with them?
But another sadder one to kind of go along with that. So Lilo with Pudge, the fish, you know, how funny and cute she is with that fish and how he can control the weather. Because so she thinks that he can control the weather. And so that's why it's so important for her to feed him versus being on time to her dance class, because her parents not only died in a car crash, but in a rainstorm. And so she's thinking it'll save other people if she because she thinks that this fish can control the weather. Yeah, it'll save other people from dying in a rainstorm. So there's so many theories with Lilo and how she processes emotions. There's one I saw too about Nani, how she used to be a professional surfer and how she had to leave that life because she had to take care of her sister. I'm just this movie has layers, man.
You know what? For my own emotional well-being, I just choose to not believe those.
That's fair. Yeah, so that was
well then there's the one with Peter Pan, where
oh my gosh, yeah,
they call Captain Hook's actually the good guy, and he's just trying to stop Peter Pan, not the Lost Boys, because Peter Pan's actually stealing these kids.
Okay, but I saw it where he's not only stealing the kids, but if they aren't really into the whole Neverland thing and they decide to grow up, then he kills them to maintain the Neverland thing. And the theory was that Captain Hook and all of his crew were boys that escaped from Peter Pan's little thing and grew up, and now they're trying to save the other boys.
Oh. Okay, I'll go. We'll pause on that. We'll come back to that because we need to talk about that. Okay. What is the population of the town Stars Hollow?
Stars Hollow.
Yes.
Oh, I feel like I should know this because I feel like they like show it throughout the series.
Okay. Is it 250? 5,667? 8,321? Or 9,973? Want me to read them again?
Yeah.
250, 5,667, 8,321, or 9,973.
I feel like it's 9,000, the 9,000 one.
I have no idea. I was gonna say 5,000.
It's 9,000. Isn't that such a random? It's not a real town.
I literally was like trying to picture the star, like the sign of Stars Hollow, and I was like, "What seems like the number
The
I've
most?
seen there?" Oh my gosh, probably just total chance.
But okay, so going back to the Peter Pan Captain Hook thing. Well, in Once Upon a Time, which is a Disney show, technically, Peter Pan is a villain.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
So it just makes me like think
I mean, but Captain Hook's not really like
the best. No,
he's
in
kind
that
of like
story.
one of the, what's the title of the character that just like does things for himself? He doesn't do things for the greater good. Or,
Anti-hero?
I don't know if that's the word.
Taylor Swift.
I don't know, but yeah, he just like kind of does whatever works best for him. He's not necessarily good or bad.
Yeah. So I just think it's interesting that so many retellings of the Peter Pan story pin Peter Pan as the bad guy.
Yeah.
When we grew up thinking he was just a sweet boy that
Didn't want to grow up.
flies into your room and takes you to Neverland. Which is, now that
You
I'm
know
thinking
what?
about it, that's kind of creepy.
My high school quote, like my graduation quote, was a quote from Peter Pan.
No way, which one?
It was like something about, now I understand why people don't want to grow up or something like that. I don't know.
All right, side note, just really quick.
Okay.
My senior quote got messed up and it still bugs me. So I'm just going to like put it
tell
out there
us.
just in case anybody from my high school ever listens to it and is looking through the yearbook and they're like, oh my gosh. Because look, this is what happened. Okay.
You're conceited.
I was friends with a group of people that like we all liked Avatar: The Last Airbender. And so we all thought it would be funny if like we did the intro, like we all put our senior quotes as like different parts of the intro. And so my part was, and I believe Aang can save the world. But the dumb people at Yearbook, they messed it up and they put I believe I can save the world. So I just looked like this, like, I'm going to save the world. I was like, are you kidding me? I think they just saw the name Aang and they're like, oh, that's a typo. So then I messed up the whole sequence.
Oh,
I was
not
so
your
mad.
fault.
I
Not
was
your
so
fault.
mad though. I was like, come on. So anyways, yeah, if you know me and you read
If
that
I ever
and
saw
thought,
something like that, like if I was in your book, I'd just like delete the whole quote and just put a different one.
I would
in.
just put it like that's their mistake. I'm just
Yeah.
writing what I saw.
Yeah, or that. Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. They were
Man.
probably trying to be nice, but yeah. Anyway,
Man.
we can move on. Thanks. I feel
They weren't trying to be
nice.
nice. They ruined your life.
No, they did. They did.
We deserve justice.
I think of the meme with Jennifer Aniston where she's like, I love your confidence. And then that's probably what people thought when they read it. I
know.
love her
No, 'cause
confidence.
I was like the really shy kid, and so they were probably like, "Whoa, I did not know her at all."
She thought she could save the
Oh my
world.
gosh. Anyway,
Oh, that's
She's over
incredible.
there actually saving the world.
So, okay, Rugrats theory. So this one's kind of messed up, but it's one that was really popular like
Actually,
8 or 9 years
I think
ago.
I did hear this one. Okay, but I'm ready for it.
Okay.
theory can have
So the theory is, I can't find the actual stuff, that Angelica, you know, the little girl with the doll, she was like grieving the loss of some of the kids so much that she started like pretending that they were real. So like Tommy
Oh yeah.
was a stillborn, never was born.
Yeah, I heard this one.
Chucky died at birth with his mom. So that's why his dad is like super
frantic.
Yeah, super anxious all the time and like just super, what's the word? Hyperactive, I guess is the right word. What else? The twins, okay? This one messed me up. So the mom, I guess, miscarried. And so before they knew what the gender was. So Angelica, in her mind, thinks that it's one boy and one girl.
Oh my gosh.
And the only one that's real is Dill and her friend, whatever her name was, her little friend that she had. So that was someone's theory, and it circulated around for so long that people are like, you know what, this kind of makes sense.
Oh my gosh.
Because like it was her way of like dealing with this stuff. And I'm just like, after like, you know, resurfacing this theory, because it's been a while since I read about it. I started going down a rabbit hole of other kids shows, and I'm just like, what's real? What's not? Like, there was another one about Steve from Blue's Clues.
Oh, I saw that one, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What's that one?
Okay, so apparently, according to someone's theory, Steve is a mental patient, and he, in order to like, I don't know.
He like committed some like heinous crime,
Yeah.
and he like regressed
As
back
a
to
child.
because it was so bad.
That's why when he like walks around, he's not walking around. He like stays.
Yeah, so like he's always wearing like the weird clothes, and then
The striped clothes.
all of his furniture is padded.
His
and
mail
when he-
comes directly to him.
to his room, and like when he like gets up to move, you see like he doesn't move. Like
Yeah.
the room just like changes, like it's a figment of his imagination. And he's always just like talking to things. He's never talking to like a real person. Sometimes he goes outside,
Yeah.
like occasionally.
Oh.
For yard day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm ruined. That ruined me.
No, like some of these will ruin you. I was also reading, I guess Nickelodeon just had a theme because Dora the Explorer, there's another theory I read
Oh, no.
where she's blind. And that's why she's like, do you see this?
Oh,
'Cause
my
she can't see. I'm laughing, but it's also just so sad.
She's just
Well,
like imagining it all.
yeah, that's why she's like, hello? Like,
Because she like
tell me?
looks so like off. Like she doesn't look at the
Oh
screen.
my
It's like
gosh.
off.
Yeah, no,
And-
like, it could be real.
And the Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh,
You heard that one?
yeah, I've read about
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah, basically like
That makes sense.
all the people that
actually.
come into his house are just like the monsters that he sees, but he just doesn't know them, so he's afraid of them.
Yeah, just like a little
Because-
scaredy cat dog.
Yeah. And then when he goes outside, it's like there's nothing else around him. It's just because he's never been outside. He doesn't go outside a lot. And so he's just like terrified of the
Yeah.
outside.
So sad.
And so that's why his name is Courage the Cowardly Dog.
These
Yeah.
are all so sad. Do you have any other sad ones? Let's just go through all the sad ones and
sad
we can
ones.
move on to like
Um,
the interesting ones.
I mean, I don't know if these are sad, but they're just like, huh. Like, have you guys heard about the troll theory from Frozen?
Yes, that's actually one of the ones that I had.
Yeah.
I hadn't like really heard about that until today. and I
Wait,
don't
which
really-
one though?
That they said that like they're actually the villains.
In what way? Because I read
That,
one where
like-
they kidnapped Kristoff.
That's what I read.
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard that one. Wait.
Okay,
Oh.
no. Go. You go
Okay,
first.
okay.
You go
Well,
first.
Mine was just that they're actually the villains, and like when they sing like "Get the fiance out of the way" and the whole thing will be fixed. Like that's when they actually like make Hans evil, and then they like and then like right after that song is when Kristoff kind of starts acting more like amicably towards Anna, and so like they made him fall in love with her too.
Oh my gosh.
And then I watched this on a video, and she was like, "So they made Hans turn bad," and she was like, "So does that mean he was a victim of trolling?" I was like, "Oh my!" But anyways,
Oh my gosh. Well,
That is
the one
good.
that we saw was that the trolls were actually like a Norwegian Scandinavian like thing where like trolls would come and they'd take your baby and then
Oh my-
replace them with your like with the troll baby, and then like you're basically raising this child for until they like you notice that there's like something wrong with it and it's an actual troll, and then they like take your baby to like enslave them.
Yeah. And so then I wrote this down because I knew I was going to forget. When Kristoff and Sven are discovered following the trolls, they're found, and that one troll says, "I think I'll keep you."
She meant it.
Yeah. And that's also why we never hear anything about Kristoff's real family, considering all of the detail and research Disney did while making Frozen.
It has to be.
It has to
real.
be true. It has to be true.
It has to be intentional.
Yeah, there's no way. Disney... Which isn't, there's
gosh.
another Frozen theory. I don't know if you guys... I think I glossed over it a few weeks ago in one of our last, like, more recent episodes about Walt Disney being cryogenically frozen.
Oh my
Okay, this is an actual conspiracy theory. So I didn't believe it until the whole Disney Frozen thing made sense in my brain. So for years, 50 years after he died, which would have been 2005-ish, maybe 2006. People were saying, I think Walt Disney froze his body and placed it underneath the Pirates of the Caribbean right at Disney,
No.
which would be freaking cool. But anyway, I think that's
Let's go
cool.
check.
Let's look for it. No,
That's actually what was happening when the ride got shut down. We were there. People were like trying to check. Okay.
No,
anyway.
like
maybe
his body was coming to life, and they had to go refreeze him.
No, so I was talking about this with Jeff because Jeff was like, "There's no way." So with everyone like conspiring about that, Disney, what they did is, they were making this movie about the Snow Queen. They could have called the movie The Snow Queen, but instead they called it Frozen, so that now whenever you Google Disney Frozen, it's a movie instead of Walt
him
Disney
being frozen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Oh no, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's very clever. And Jeff and I were looking at it because he's like, why would he want to freeze himself? And apparently, back in the time that he died, scientists were already discovering that you can freeze someone's body with liquid nitrogen, and then when science is advanced enough to revive people, you can just bring them back like nothing.
Well, yeah, there's this certain religion or something where
I didn't hear about that.
you know what? It totally could be made up. I saw it on a TV show. Well, in this TV show,
Yeah.
they basically freeze these bodies, and then they have to cut off the head a certain way. So you cut off the head, you freeze the head, and then you can attach the body and the head together, but it has to be done a certain way and at a certain time, or else it won't work.
Yeah, so they're saving Walt Disney for a rainy day.
Oh my gosh. No, you know what? That just discredited that whole theory because a rainy day was years ago.
True.
Yeah.
No, but I just thought it was interesting because I was like,
Oh wait, pause. Have you guys heard that they're making a Frozen 3?
no, why?
Yeah.
For who?
No.
Who? I'm not gonna lie, I haven't even watched Frozen 2.
Really?
Yeah, I know the song, who doesn't? It was forced to me against my will.
Frozen 2, nah.
Didn't do it. That's why I didn't watch it.
You know, some of the songs in Frozen 2 are actually pretty good.
You know what? If Walt were here, I don't think he would want all of these.
And then they're making a
million
Toy Story 5.
No,
I can get behind that
Yeah,
one more than Frozen 3.
No, the
More than-
fourth was awful.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't that bad.
It was just a different era. But anyway,
Yeah.
who you need to do the trivia next.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
do.
we've done it this way.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready. Game face. While we wait.
Sorry, I'm trying to find the good one. I feel like it needs to. Okay, this one kind of goes along with what we're talking about.
Okay.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is based on whose story idea? Michael Bay.
Who's Michael Bay?
Michael Bay. Ernest Hemingway, Tim Burton, or George Lucas?
George Lucas. Final answer, I think. I think he wrote the screenplay at the very least. And that's why he cast Harrison Ford into the Star Wars movies. But
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. That's just my...
I don't understand. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is based on whose story idea? Michael Bay, Ernest Hemingway,
doubting
Tim
myself.
Burton, or George Lucas?
Now I'm doubting myself. Maybe it is Tim Burton. I thought Tim Burton for second.
I feel like isn't Ernest Hemingway dead?
Yeah, but I think he was alive around this time or just
Was he?
before.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could have been a story because just like Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, was written
Way
years,
back
hundred
when.
years, yeah.
Oh, okay. I want to say Ernest Hemingway. That's just kind of
I'm
left field.
I'm torn between Tim Burton and George Lucas. I'm gonna say George Lucas.
George Lucas.
Yeah, I just am a nerd. I know all the Star Wars facts from my film studies class that I took in high school, and how George Lucas had no money and no one was interested in the Star Wars story, and he had already worked with Harrison Ford, so he was like, "You're my Han Solo. I need you on this project to hopefully get people in seats." So
Have you guys seen the short film of George Lucas when he was in college writing Star Wars?
mm-mm. Is it on Disney Plus?
I don't know. I don't know where it is. I watched it in high school, like 3 different times in 3 different classes on Star Wars Day, May 4th. But it's so funny. Anyways, you have to go watch it. I don't want to ruin it.
No, I'm going to watch it. I feel like I probably know the story. Because like I said, we had to study Star Wars and compare it to The Wizard of Oz. So I had to study both those movies heavily. And that's why I didn't do a Wizard of Oz theory, because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
And I did not want to get into it.
There was one... Sorry, I'm getting into it. There was one theory where it literally left me scarred for a long time. Like, I couldn't think about The Wizard of Oz without being freaked out. Because I saw this when I was really young. So, granted, it was, like, a long time ago. But, like, basically one of the cast members or one of the background characters ended up hanging himself. And you can see his body in...
The Munchkin.
Yeah, a Munchkin in the movie.
No.
Just, like, hanging. Just, like...
You can?
Like that, yeah.
But some people have debunked it and said it was maybe a bird, like a fake bird in a cage swinging back and forth. So there's been people trying to debunk that theory, because obviously it is very dark.
Yeah. Well, that's why it freaked me out so much, is because I was like, there's just this body and nobody noticed? Like, what?
And they left it in the film?
Yeah.
There's so much messed up stuff from the Wizard of Oz movie.
I mean, I also in high school, I don't know, it must have been my psychology class, because we did a whole bunch of weird crap that I was like, how does this relate? But anyway, yeah, I was totally Mr. Fong. Yeah. Anyways, we went through like Disney movies and like things that they like put in that are a little inappropriate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like we can't get into it, but I was like,
No.
yeah.
Things that just go whoop, over
Right over your
everyone's
head.
head. One of my favorite little tidbits from like Hercules is when they go, call IXII, because it's 911.
Yeah. Dude, Hercules is full of awesome gems like that. It's
I love
so funny.
Hercules.
It is so funny.
That's like one of my comfort films. Okay, let's
Indoor plumbing. It's gonna be big.
see. Okay, did you guys hear about...
You want to buy a sundial?
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Oh man.
And that creepy part of the city. Oh my gosh. That part always scared me as like a little kid.
Hercules
Oh.
terrified me as a kid.
But I watched it all the time.
Hercules, as Nora says. Hercules.
Oh my gosh. And her
Like,
little
what
crush
did
on
she say?
him.
What did she say about... You had a picture of him, and he's like, my big,
Oh,
strong man.
Yeah, so we have like we have the Disney code names,
names.
and so it's like a bunch of pictures, and it doesn't even get played as code names. It literally is just pictures for like kids to look at, and they like seeing all the characters. So yeah, we're in the bathroom, and like one got like just flung to the side, so she picks it up, and she's like, "Oh, Hercules, he's so strong," or something like "my strong boy," or something like that. And I was just like,
She's too young to be acting.
I was like, where are you getting this?
how
from?
old is she?
It was
Well,
funny.
I told Heidi, I was like, I can't wait for us to show her Pride and Prejudice. We're
Well, I
going to
mean,
show her all the angst.
This is the same girl that cried when John Smith left
Yeah,
Pocahontas.
that's
She
true.
cried again the other day. She was watching this show. It's a knockoff of Spirit,
Oh,
Oh,
the
okay.
horse show. And so there's this girl named Lucky, and her and Spirit are like, he's her horse, but he's also free. Anyway, he gets like taken. I see this happening, and I like look over at her face, and I can just see like the dam is about to burst, and I'm like, it's okay. She just goes, and I start crying, and I just like go over, and I'm just like holding her, and she's just like sobbing. I'm like,
Wow. She's so much like
let's
us.
keep the
she
Pokemon for
loves
now.
that show. But yeah,
God.
I felt so bad. I was like, maybe you're
What
not
is she
ready
on
for
the
this.
like third watch of Miraculous?
Oh, who knows? She loves
'Cause
Miraculous.
when she came over to Mom's house, I was watching the same episode I watched just a little while ago. So I was like,
Probably. It kind of skips around too somehow. Like
Oh.
sometimes it gets left on and we're like gone,
oh,
or like I'm doing something else. Anyway,
okay,
That makes
gotcha.
sense. That makes sense.
Anyway,
Oh,
next theory.
Nora is
sorry.
so
yeah.
much
that
like
was
us.
so funny though.
Okay, have you heard the theory of the Narnia kids being the founders of the Hogwarts houses?
Oh yeah, I have.
So I have the
think
reasons
so.
why
Yes,
people think
I
this.
want to hear it.
So Susan would be Ravenclaw. Susan is super logical and definitely a Ravenclaw. She prefers to make intellectual decisions and think through things logically. Susan was very creative in her different ideas and solutions to different problems. Peter, which one do you think he would be? Gryffindor, for sure. Peter is such a Gryffindor and really embodies their values. He's obviously very brave and also super determined. He is also loyal and would do anything for his family. He clashes with Edmund a lot because of their differences in personalities and values.
That's why Edmund is Slytherin.
Salazar Slytherin. Edmund is super ambitious and wants to do things on his own. He wants to be a leader and he is super resourceful. He doesn't trust others and that can be a flaw. And then last but not least, Lucy would be Helga Hufflepuff. She is super loyal and kind, values honesty and commitment, is hardworking but also fun and easygoing. That is why when she gets mad, nobody believes her.
Oh my gosh, when I watched those Narnia movies and they like got the little crowns,
Yeah.
I literally wanted her crown.
I know, it was so pretty.
Right? I still think about it sometimes. It's a beautiful crown.
I remember like lusting after Peter when I watched that the first time. I was like, he's so cute. And my mom was like, we're never watching this again. Never again. So
Yeah, it says the lady that downloaded or bought the video for Shakira, that like one like really sexual dance that she does, all of her dances
for Michael.
For Michael.
Yeah. There's a lot of gender things that should not have happened.
Oh my god.
Because things are okay for my brother, but not for us because we're girls. Okay, you go with another one. I have a few that I can talk about.
Okay, yeah. Well, another Disney one. Well, no. And another Harry Potter one.
Yeah, let's do another Harry Potter.
I read this thing that said that the reason why the Dursleys were so horrible to Harry is because he's a Horcrux, and so being around Horcrux makes people like awful.
Yeah.
And I was like felt a little bad for like hating them, but yeah. Anyway.
That was
Makes
literally
sense.
my other Harry Potter one. Harry being a Horcrux.
It does make sense, but then I was like, what about Ron and Hermione?
Yeah, they didn't.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
It is a good theory,
But
though.
then again, like, well, they had him a lot longer. So maybe the longer you're with somebody, like, the more it really affects you. And then, like, you leave and then they just, like, don't see him for a long time. And then he comes back and they're just, like, full force, maybe. I don't know. Still kind of doesn't debunk that.
But
help
it's
that.
still an interesting one to think about.
Yeah.
Because that would definitely explain their behavior towards him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have one from Marvel. I read through so many different Marvel ones, and this is the one that was like, all right, I want to share this one. So the theory is that Hulk saw Natasha in the Soul Planet when he undid the snap. So you know how Thanos, when he did the snap, the first time he goes into the whatever.
And he sees Gamora.
He sees Gamora. Yeah. So there's a theory that Hulk saw Natasha. And the reason why there's a theory about this is because there's a deleted scene from Endgame where Tony sees his daughter as an adult in that same universe. Look it up on YouTube. It's there. It's not fully edited, you could tell. But it was a deleted scene that they chose to eliminate for whatever reason. Probably just because it didn't match up with...
Bring it back.
I know, right? We need an extended edition stat.
Make it 6 hours.
Yeah, you cowards. I'll sit there. No, so there's a couple of reasons, and I wrote them down. So Thanos wiping out half the universe. As soon as he does that, he has a moment where he sees Gamora. And so this person that wrote this theory said they think it happened 3 times. So with Thanos, then with Hulk, and then Iron Man, the one that we actually saw. So he said in his little comment that he thinks that this happened, and that's why Hulk is so confident in saying we can't bring her back. She's gone. Because he had that moment to see her and talk to her.
And say goodbye.
That's why, yeah. Which is still very sad. Very sad, but I thought it was just kind of like an interesting, like, okay, he got some closure.
Yeah, and the fact that, like, he saw her, you know, who's the closest person to her besides what's his face, but...
Well, doesn't he say that he tried to bring her back when he was thinking about that? And that's probably why
he saw her and was like, nope. She's like, I'm not coming back.
So I like to think that one's true. Out of all the other ones we've talked about, I'm like, I hope that one's true. Because it just made me
Time for a rewatch.
happy. Time for a Marvel marathon.
Except I'm still stuck. I started a Marvel marathon on my own at work when I used to work at Help Cloud, and like when it was like super slow, I just watched a movie, and I think I'm still on like Doctor Strange, because I cannot watch that movie.
I don't
It's
like
so
that movie.
boring.
I don't like
I
Doctor
don't know
Strange.
why you guys don't like that one.
I just cannot.
I don't like Doctor Strange.
The second one is good. I like the second one.
I can't.
But anyway, after that, I'm like, it just isn't. I just can't get through that one. And then I don't even know what's next. I think it's Homecoming, Spider-Man Homecoming or something. I used to really like that one, but now with the other two that are out, I'm like, that one's irrelevant.
Yeah, well, because he's not with MJ in that one. It's just like, but it's a good like foundation to know like who his friend is, like with Ned, and seeing their like little
Guy in the chair.
the guy in the exactly when he's like holding the Death Star.
Yeah, but is
Lego.
it true that Ned's gonna be a bad guy?
What?
In the comics, well, I don't know.
Oh, because
that's
his friend Harry became a bad guy.
No, but Colton told me. We'll have to look it up. That like there's another whatever part of the universe that he has a friend, and I think his name's Ned, and he turns evil, and there's like a villain.
Yeah, so he's in that universe, that variant of Ned is also married to the blonde girl from their like the high school, the journalist girl. So they kind of made
Betty.
yes.
Oh, right here.
They made Ned
Leeds
Hobgoblin
is a hobgoblin.
So yeah, but they only made a nod to it. I don't know if they're gonna fully lean into him being the actual character.
If they do,
Because
I'd be really
they already showed that he can like do powers.
He can do the magic.
But with Quantumania, spoiler alert, it goes more into like multiverse stuff. So there's a chance of more things. You have to finish Loki if you haven't to watch that one.
I don't know if this obviously we don't know if it's true, but this one says Ned Leeds will become the MCU's Venom.
Well, that'll be awesome. That would be awesome.
I hate Venom. No.
I love Venom.
But Ned as Venom would be funny.
Yeah.
Even
Tom Hardy's Venom. Gosh, I can't even talk.
Yeah,
but Venom just
is
like
so nasty. To me.
Venom just takes control of people though. They're like not
But
really Venom. They're
did-
just like a victim of Venom.
Yeah.
I did see that Venom and Peter Parker and Spider-Man MCU will team up together to defeat the Sinister Six, which is the next like villain group. I don't know.
So,
Something like that.
is there going to be 3 more movies, or was that just something that was speculated?
The director of the 3 Tom Holland Spider-Mans said that he is willing to do more movies with Tom Holland. And so I think it's up in the air. I think Tom Holland is fantastic, and he still looks young enough to like portray a college-aged Peter Parker.
But
I
think Tom Holland's done. I think I read somewhere that he was like, nah, I think he said that he's done playing.
No, I don't know. I read somewhere that he said if the same director is directing it, then he'll do it. So it just depends. So I don't know, because Chris Hemsworth has said that he won't be doing it anymore. But at the end of Love and Thunder implies there's more to Thor's story with
That's
Love
what
and Thunder.
I thought the last movie with Tom Holland, like it seemed to imply like there was going to be more.
Yeah.
So I hope they don't close that story, because I think they have a lot to work with. And again, they opened up Ned being the Hobgoblin at the very least, having magical powers with doing this.
Yeah, and then when is Shang-Chi coming in? Because he like had the whole ending where he like went and saw Doctor Strange's guy, I forget his name, Wong.
Wong. Mm-hmm.
And he's like, they're talking with him like, we need your help, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But like that still hasn't come up yet.
I know. I'm like waiting. I keep telling Jeff, I'm like, I'm waiting for it to come out.
Because Shang-Chi is a good freaking movie.
Okay, you guys have to go see Quantumania and then talk to me, because I have a lot of thoughts. We went to see it twice.
I haven't even finished the Wasp one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That one's better than the first one.
Oh, really?
I would say
That's good
so.
to know, because I struggled.
Yeah, that was one that I struggled. It was Ant-Man, Black Panther, and then like Doctor Strange that I just cannot get through. I don't know why. They're my least favorite movies.
Did you see Wakanda Forever?
Yeah, and I did not like it very much. I thought it was really
Just
stupid.
want to say it's the only Marvel movie where an actor was nominated for an Oscar.
Again, like I thought that she did a really good job like acting, and I have no problem with her being the Black Panther. That's not even like the issue. It's literally just the story. The plot is just so left field. Like no matter how crazy like Marvel is getting, I just feel like that was just so like out of the blue that I just can't get behind it. With the blue people.
Oh. Yes and no. It's so that story is kind of not in the comics, but they pulled from the Mayan story and combined it with another story in the comics to make what those people
and it's
were.
just stupid because he kills like a whole bunch of her people, and then she kills their family, and then she's like, never mind, we're just gonna stop and forgive each other.
No, but
that doesn't make sense to me.
That's the thing is, so with me with that movie, and I've only seen it once, I was rooting for the villain in a sense. I was like, please just work together. You guys have like the perfect system both ways. If you guys just like be peaceful and like figure it out. So I was like, I hope he doesn't die, because they had complementary ideals and values. So I was like, please just like get together. So I was actually really glad that they spoiler, sorry, doesn't die.
Yeah, but the part where she literally gets like stabbed in the stomach and then just like walks away from it. Like, you gotta be absolutely kidding me. That's where I drew the line.
Heidi, it's not real.
I don't care. That's so stupid.
I don't know.
Like, some of the stuff I can't get behind. Like, Black Widow's movie, I'm also like,
what? Oh my gosh, Heidi.
I like the movie, but there's some parts in it where I'm like, that's definitely false, and even I know it's false. Okay, like, they get in a car accident, they go into the subway, she's like bleeding, and then they just walk away. Like, nothing happened.
That's true.
They're not invincible, they're just fighters.
Well, that's why we'll go back to Tobey Maguire being one of my favorite Spider-Man movies, because that's the first time you see a superhero actually vulnerable.
Yeah, that's what I always say. That's why, I mean, that's what we grew up on. I grew up on like the more serious movies, like, but people actually died, and which they did introduce that a little bit to the MCU. But before it was like, oh, darn it, Thor got his eye taken out. Well, it's gonna be back in a second. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or like he literally like gets stabbed in the eye or whatever, and then like this rock music comes on and he just starts like going ham. I'm like, what? Like, I get he's a god, but like, what? I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, no, I like seeing the vulnerability, and that's why I think why I like Multiverse of Madness, because you see Wanda in a more vulnerable place. Like, you actually see scars on her body that she cannot even heal herself. Like, she's trying to, because she has the power to do so. And so it's just like, whoa.
Yeah, and that one's just like, there's so many layers to that one.
The
only thing I don't like about that
America
movie,
Chavez.
Yes! She sucks.
No, and you know what's funny?
She really is the worst
She was
character.
the worst part of the whole MCU. Dare I say the whole MCU. She's the worst character.
I will get behind that real quick.
She is so
sucks.
unnecessary. So unnecessary. And so they really could have done without her. I wish that we would have seen more of Wong as the Sorcerer Supreme and working with Doctor Strange instead of her.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess they needed a conduit to jump.
They needed another female
multiverse
in the movie.
They needed to. Well, they could have had, what's her name? Rachel McAdams' character. What's her name? I don't remember.
Oh, Doctor Strange's love interest.
Oh yeah.
She played a big role in that, which I was like, okay, cool. That's
she did and didn't.
Did and
she
didn't.
was also something that could have been taken out.
But I think it was important for him to receive some sort of
closure in that aspect. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. But I will say, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness had the coolest superhero transition when he jumps from the balcony and into his cape. Flawless. Flawless.
Okay, do you guys have any other MCU stuff, or like any other theories? I have more.
I have, a couple more, but you can go.
Heidi, do you want Star Wars? More Disney? Something else?
I'll do miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous. All right. Here's an Avatar one. So it's about Toph and about her family crest. So it says, all that Toph has achieved is represented in her family's crest, the flying boar. The term "when pigs fly" is an expression of disbelief used when referring to an impossible notion. Toph,
Like
a
her being
blind
blind.
earthbender, has always gone beyond what people thought she was capable of, but she also quite literally achieves the impossible by inventing metal bending.
Oh my gosh, I just got chills. I freaking love that
Yeah,
show.
I love that theory. Whoever
That's
came
my
up with
favorite.
it, I believe that to a T. That is so cool. I have one that I don't know if you guys have heard this one, the William Shakespeare Anne Hathaway theory. That Anne Hathaway is his wife reincarnate. Let's just look at the proof. That's her husband. This is William Shakespeare. And then I don't know if you guys knew this. More evidence to add to this. So one, Anne Hathaway was born on the 400th anniversary of William Shakespeare and his wife's wedding day. Okay? Anne's parents named her Anne, so like Mistress Shakespeare, she was born Anne Hathaway. Anne's husband looks very much like some of the portraits of Shakespeare, and Anne has been, this is funny, has been making films for 2 decades, and yet she looks no older than she did when she started. Facts. But no, I just thought that was like...
What's her skincare line?
Seriously. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. William Shakespeare.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Another Avatar one. This one's a little more sad. But it talks about how in Legend of Korra, it's revealed that the spirit world is affected by an avatar's inner emotions. So like with Korra, like when she changes her mood, things like spirits become friendly and lit up. And so then it like goes back to with Aang and how like the spirits are always very dark and angry and like mystical because of his because it reflected Aang's genocidal trauma and anxiety. And I was like,
yeah, that kid went through a lot.
yeah, no, seriously. I was like, dang.
And yet he still was like, fine, I'll save you guys, even though you you gave me all these reasons not to.
Dude, I'm so excited for the Avatar TV show.
I really hope it turns
with the
out well.
all Asian cast. No, the what's his name? Jin from Lost is in it, and that's enough for me to know that it's on a good track. He said he's like it's an all Asian cast. He went on a podcast and talked about it, and I was like, yes.
Well, as it should be.
Finally.
It's the Asian country.
But the
based
movie,
off of Asian countries.
the movie, which was made by
well, we don't talk about
Asian.
the movie. That's just a no.
But I'm just like saying, like they had so much good content, and they failed.
Yeah,
they failed. So I really hope the show does
they
well.
could have made 3 movies out of that.
Easy.
But they sucked. And now
so that's why I'm hoping the show does well, because I think things do better at shows nowadays. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like because it's longer.
You get more detail.
You get more detail with the story. You get even things that the writers interpret from whatever the original work is, whether it's a video game, a book, or whatever. So I kind of like that. And so
just the only thing is that the writers of Avatar started off helping to write the screenplay, but they ended up dropping out because they didn't like the direction they were taking it. So that's the only thing that's giving me the like, oh, I'm not so sure. Because I'm like, they started off with it and they were going with it, and then they were like, no, we can't get behind this.
Well, they better test. They better test it, because they a lot of times will do an audience test to see how it does and have people like review it.
Because this is a show that is beloved by many people, and if you screw this up, your career is done.
You're done. You're canceled. Whoever's directing it, cancel.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Have you guys heard the Stranger Things theory that the kids, so that the whole show is just a long Dungeons and Dragons campaign that the adult version of the kids are playing?
No
I
way!
love that theory.
Oh my gosh!
That would be awesome.
So the actors couldn't confirm nor deny, but they said, I don't think it's actually what the show writers were intending. Well, I don't know, because Finn Wolfhard went and said, "Oh, it would be really cool if you did it like this," and the writers were like, "How did you know we were doing that?" He's like, "I was just joking, but okay." But like he and a bunch of the other kids are on board with that theory. They're like, 100%, we get it, we're with you. So
that's crazy.
That would be so.
I don't know how I feel about that. That's like
the whole ending of that. Would it just be like these characters, all the characters that were like part of the show that got killed off? Are they gonna be like alive again?
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like a happy ending, but it also like makes everything feel
that
like
you went through,
irrelevant.
Yeah,
I think it would be cool though, because then it would be like how you play Dungeons and Dragons is sometimes people die. Like your character just dies, and so you can come back by making a new character and kind of just having them like feed into the storyline.
But I don't know if I like the idea of like if they did it this way, which I don't know if they will, but like if they did it where it literally got to the end and then all of a sudden it just like shoots to them being old and then just like playing this game. I don't feel like I would like that very much.
I don't know. I love that kind of stuff.
No,
like
it's
I think
too
about
much. It's too much into
because you
it,
go
like,
so into detail and you get so involved with
it's
these
like,
characters. And
I
for it
haven't
to be
even seen
lost,
the show, but I've heard people complain about like How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Like it makes the whole thing just like
Yeah.
I don't know because with that one's different because the writers had a plan in the first season and then they added things throughout the story and they didn't stick to what they originally had planned and they veered off so far that they couldn't bring it back. But I feel like the Stranger Things writers so far, everything has come full circle.
yeah. Oh yeah,
So
they planned that sucker out.
So I feel like if they did it that way, I would want it like Breaking Dawn Part 2 style where you're on the floor sobbing and then the next thing you know it's like they're rolling on top of a table. Okay, who's next? And I would lose my mind.
Just
but
like,
in the best
just
way.
like one scene where it's just like they
Oh
just
my
roll.
gosh.
It just like skips to them and they just roll and then it ends.
Oh my gosh.
That would be insane. I think I would
And
actually
they just
like
chuckle at all our emotional damage for nothing.
as they count their money.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
No, but I love that kind of. I love thinking one thing and then being totally bamboozled at the end.
Did you see though that the cast totally guessed like the whole Vecna thing?
Oh yeah,
I found that today while I was looking at fan theories. It was like the little baby actors, like not a couple.
oh yeah. They asked
Quite
them
a few years ago,
yeah.
and they were like asking them, and they were like, "Oh well, I think it might be like because we know that like the people with 11, like not all of them died. Like some of them got sent into the Upside Down, and so like what if they're just like in the Upside Down so long that they like become like some messed up monster?" Like they literally called it. I honestly wonder sometimes if like the brothers saw that and they were like,
we're going with it.
yeah, they're like, that's a good idea.
Like I said, I saw an interview with Finn Wolfhard, and he literally was like, I mean, I said something. He couldn't even say what he said. He's like, I said something kind of like offhandedly, and the brothers were like, can we talk to you for a second? And they brought him over to like another room, and we're like, how did you know we were going to take it this direction? He's like, I didn't. I was joking, but that would be cool.
I mean, Finn Wolfhard's been doing acting for a while, especially in horror movies.
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure he could kind of guess.
And not only that is that he has a lot of power. Like he single-handedly cast the adult version of himself for the It movies. He literally said, "I want Bill Hader to do the role," and then Bill Hader got a call from his agent saying they want you for the movie.
That's
and he's
so
like,
funny.
"Okay, like
Well,
who is this kid?"
Literally, he looks exactly like him.
Oh man,
Like how he would look like if he were older.
Yeah. So I think Finn.
The casting in that movie was phenomenal. Have I seen it? No. But
Yeah, I'm over here-
posters? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you. Like the kid to the adult, incredible.
Well, that's why with like Shazam too.
Oh,
I think they
yes.
did a really good casting, like an older version of themselves.
I agree. I actually was going to talk about that after you said that.
I literally want to go see that second movie so bad.
It is so. I want to see it
Shazam.
so bad
But
because I
Wes-
loved the first one.
Wes hasn't even seen the first one.
Oh,
yet.
let him. Like,
That movie creeps me out.
Well, the part where he's in the office and he like kills
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah, that part specifically is what came to my
Listen,
mind.
I skipped that part because I don't like that part.
Yeah,
But everything else is really good.
yeah.
Ugh.
I
mean, I love Zachary. What's
Zachary
his
Levi.
name?
Levi.
Oh, I love Zachary Levi.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I've always like if they were ever gonna make
A live action.
I was like totally on board with him still playing Flynn Rider.
Oh yeah.
Even if he's old.
He looks nothing like him.
Yeah.
The
Well,
That's
now.
great.
He
Yeah.
did before.
No,
But yeah,
I
no.
love all these things.
the casting really does make a difference because we recently watched, and I'm so mad at Colton for this because what's that movie called? The Best of Me.
Oh yeah.
I had
Yes.
seen it before and totally forgot. And Colton was like sitting there like, oh, we've seen this one. This one wrecked us. And he didn't say a thing. So I rewatched the whole thing and got wrecked again anyway.
I forget the ending. What's the ending?
Um,
Or should I just watch
Maybe
it?
I blocked it out.
yeah, I
think I blocked
literally
it
think I
out.
blocked it out. Anyways, it's
I don't wanna
awful.
know.
But that movie, it just like, it was hard for me to like reconcile the two timelines because they look nothing alike. The younger and older version of Dawson. The younger one's like tall and lanky and like has a super narrow face and long nose, and then the other one's what's his face?
Oh,
Marsden? Is it him?
yeah, James Marsden. Yeah,
No, that
no,
doesn't
it's a
sound
different
right.
one.
No, it's
that's a different one.
Oh
my
gosh,
it's
what's
gonna
his
bother me.
name?
Yeah, pull it up. I'm thinking about the other.
Oh,
Nicholas
what's his name? Yeah.
Sparks style kind of movie. Best of Me.
It's not James Marsden. It's.
Yeah, it is. No, it is.
It is?
Mm-hmm. James Marsden.
Oh yeah, it is.
It
It's
is,
just
yeah.
it looks really different because
It
he
looks
has
different.
a buzz cut.
Dean's
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so they look like nothing alike. Like the height is
Yeah.
completely different. Like the whole build, everything is just completely different. It's just like very hard to.
No, like let
Oh,
me.
apparently there's an alternate ending.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's
The
interesting.
book and the movie alternate ending.
What? I need to read it because what if it's happier?
It probably is.
Probably.
Trying to find a picture of so you can see the It
it's
cast with their counterpart.
That's one of those movies where like you start to pick up clues and you're like, oh no. And you like realize that you're spiraling right to heartache, but you can't stop watching. Anyways.
So it's
This
true
is
one
the
of
It
characters
cast,
dies.
kids, and then the adult version. They did, like, look at this. So he grows up to be like not a fat kid, but look at that. He still looks like him.
Wait,
Incredible.
I need to see this again.
No way. Yeah, that's awesome. That's crazy.
Those two, spot on.
Yeah, seriously.
Spot on. Anyway, I can go on and on about that movie, but I won't.
Again, I will
But,
not watch that movie until I am married.
I know, so you could have someone to.
So I can like cling to at night.
Okay, I have
Yes, give us another one.
a happier one.
Okay,
This is
let's
a
do it.
happier
Let's
Okay.
end on a happier
on a
one.
happy note.
Okay, so you know how Maui.
Oh, from
I
Moana?
know you don't love Moana, but in Maui, how he has like his tattoos of things that he's earned.
Yes.
So it talked about like the little cheerleader guy, and he earned it because he says he earned it when, while in long isolation, he learned to love himself despite a lifetime of rejection. I was like, that's wholesome.
I want that to be 1,000%
I know,
true.
me too. He's just, can you imagine that? He's just like on the island one day and he's like accepts himself, and then this little cheerleader just pops up. That's so sweet.
Stop.
These tattoos are pictures of the victories I've won. That's what he says in the song. Oh, that's so cute. I love that.
Man, you and Jeff know all the Moana songs.
Honestly, that's the only Moana song that I actually like. Except, it's so shiny.
I love that one. It's so
No,
shiny.
literally, I've been trying to know all the words to You're Welcome because I think it's so funny.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I'm like halfway there. Well, 3/4 of the way.
There's like little things that come up in Dreamlight Valley with phrases from the songs from Moana, and Jeff is like, "Oh, that's from the one song. That's clever." I'm like, "Is it?"
I wonder if Wes will give me that game. I want it.
I thought you asked for Hogwarts.
I want both.
I feel that.
I have a Hogwarts one. Do we want it? Going off of that?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one I thought was kind of funny. It says, as a way of getting back at Hermione and those who imprisoned her, Rita Skeeter wrote a wildly incorrect Harry Potter biography. Due to the clear falsities, the wizarding world turned their backs on her. So she took her work to the Muggle world with a few changes. Her book became a series known worldwide as the Harry Potter saga we know today. I was like, what? I was like,
love
JK,
that.
you actually Skeeta?
Are you actually Skeeta?
I want that to be true so bad.
Watch it. That'd be so funny. It's like true, and she's just like online. She just reads it. She's like,
She's like,
Oh,
she's
crap.
that kid that's like,
I was like, can't tell you. Thanks for listening to Discussions. Follow us on Instagram at Discussions Podcast and slide into our DMs to tell us what you would like to hear on the show. Tune in next week for another episode with your favorite sisters.